It's really hard to feel like you're bad at a new hobby, and that's sometimes me with sewing. I recently upcycled this thrifted dress into a two-piece set, and while I'm mostly happy with the final result, somewhere along the way, I forgot it was supposed to be fun. This is the true story of a perfectionist who just wants to do a good job, doesn't quite know how,
oh boy, I'm in a pickle, aren't I?
And goes to absurd lengths to get it right, meanwhile forgetting,
What do I do? It's really hot in here.
it's just supposed to be a hobby, not open heart surgery. So today's video isn't just about upcycling. It's also a window into the messy, frustrating parts of learning something new, especially when some of us get stuck in our own heads. Everything started strong. Lighting, good. Vision, clear. Bird, present like a Disney sidekick. Then came the moment of truth, the first cut. It always feels like I'm ruining perfectly good clothing, but I had to start somewhere. I even braved talking to the camera unscripted.
Why am I nervous? Okay, so I had to try this on to make sure my vision was on track. I mean, I would wear this outside, like right now.
Cut to like 387 takes later, words gone.
But the question is, so
the next steps were unclear and the options were endless. The true stakes were imaginary, but they felt enormous.
question now is what to do with this. I originally thought these were gonna be some kind of like wide leg pants, but I'm like, what if it were an A-line skirt? Then I thought, oh, should I make this like pattern on this? Then I'm like, no, we need to get this upcycle finished today. I think I'm still just gonna stick with pants. I have a pattern for shorts. I'm just gonna extend the length so they can be pants. All right, let's cut that pattern.
Now, I usually love the pattern cutting part of any sewing project because I can just turn off my brain and pretty much just trust the process. But as I was cutting the leg pieces, I realized I was starting to run out of fabric.
Okay, Houston, we have a problem. Slight problem.
There wasn't enough fabric for the crotch, and
The other thing I don't love is there's gonna be a seam on this other leg, but all's fair in love and upcycling.
I kept cutting what I could before realizing there was an even bigger issue ahead.
I still have all these pieces to cut out. This ain't cutting it. So I'm gonna need to make some tough decisions here. Either we make the pants shorter, or because I have an upcycling closet, hey Google, turn on the cat closet light. I can make some sacrifices. This is the sacrifice. If I were to just crop this, to be highly technical, oh boy, I'm in a pickle, aren't I? Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just quickly crop this and then see if I can like, I don't know, turn those into gauchos, and if not, we'll just do like a long shorts thing.
Wow, my face is not loving the idea of shorts for this project.
I swore I had another long dress like that.
Yep, right where I left it. Cool. Anyways, I moved forward with the hummingbird shirt plan, trying to make do with what I had at home, for now.
Good news, I think she looks cute shorter. One more piece of good news, I do have this to work with. However, it is not enough to cut all of those remaining pattern pieces. And even as it is, I'm kind of torn because it's just a slightly lighter color denim. And I guess it won't look as light, it'll look more like textured because of the elastic. Should I care?
By now, decision fatigue and scarcity thinking have officially taken over.
This is why sewing projects take me 25 times longer than they should. I can't make these decisions. I will never find a shirt like this again. I will never find a dress like that again. Okay, I think I need some time.
The heat was getting to us, and so was the hunger.
I think I need a sandwich.
After some lunch, the answer came to me.
I've got a solution.
Okay, I just pulled up to Goodwill with my little fabric scrap, and I'm gonna try to find a perfect match, maybe find another 80s, 90s-ish jumper, pants, whatever. No section is off limits. Let's go see what I find. It was a race against the clock. Just in the nick of time, I found what I thought was a perfect match. Mission accomplished. Okay, I could not be happier with this find. It looks like it could have been made in the same factory and same year as the thing that I'm upcycling right now. It has shoulder pads, so I think what I'm gonna do is steal from the bottom of this dress, and then this is gonna be my next upcycling project. Back home though, Betrayal. The Goodwill lights had lied. The fabric was actually way darker. I was too crushed at this point to do the whole talking to camera thing, so I cut the rest of that pattern using the bottom of that Goodwill dress, the yoke, the waistband, and the pockets. And then stubbornly used that hummingbird shirt fabric for the inside pockets because the sacrifice had to mean something. Then it was time to assemble. So first, I attached the inside pocket pieces to the front pant leg with my serger and then understitched with my regular sewing machine so they would lie flat. Then I serged the two pocket pieces together and attached these little sections together with my regular sewing machine. The result is this gorgeous pocket. Dopamine is funneling straight to my brain now. But as quickly as my confidence spiked, it also crashed. I accidentally sewed the two front legs together.
No.
Cue the seam ripper cameo. Kind of symbolically, the footage also happened to be blurry. What I actually needed to do was sew the front and back pieces together from the crotch down. But before doing that, I needed to fix that missing crotch piece. So I traced, cut, and sewed, reminding myself that perfect was the enemy of done. After that, I could finally serge those front and back leg pieces together, and then attach both legs together at the crotch. Thankfully, things started looking up from here. I attached the darker fabric yoke on the top back. Does a dark yoke mean it was free range? And then sew the outer pant seams together. Finally, something pants-like emerged. I then sewed the waistband together to make a circle, then folded it hot dog style to make a casing for the elastic and sewed that together, making sure to leave a hole big enough to slide the elastic through, which I did with a safety pin. I then sewed the two ends of the elastic together and serged the hole closed. Next, I sewed the waist to the pants, stretching the fabric as I went. And then I added a decorative top stitch with matching thread, which helped reduce the look of bulk at the waist. Finally, after all the panic about matching fabric, it definitely didn't match, and yet I think it actually works. Oh, and here's that seam I was nitpicking about earlier. I honestly almost forgot it was there. Okay, I'm almost ready to start figuring out the top, but first I cropped the pants a little, double checking the inseam matched, serged the edges, rolled the hem, and sewed around. Now for the top. I removed the ties and the sleeves, then debated, should I go forth with more contrasting elements maybe, now that I know that I like it? Or maybe like a button at the top? Then I had a stroke of genius, if I do say so myself. Turn the waist strings into little bows on the front and tie them through the buttonholes. It would be not one, but two ways to wear the vest. So I clipped the neckline roughly where I wanted it to be and marked it along the fold and cut all the way around. Cut the side seams open, then traced around a shirt I already owned to get the fit better, then added about a 3/4 inch seam allowance and cut along that line. Next, I sewed the sides together and ended up serging those later, then marked some spots to add darts after watching some YouTube videos. Then I tried to add darts to the back, but didn't quite like them and undid them. By now, I was so tired of this project because at this point, I started fixating on making a third bow that never quite matched the other two in texture or color, and I was just ready to be done. So I finished the edges quickly with my serger and folded them under and sewed across. Not my best finishes, but it was done. And so, without further ado, I present the finished outfit. I'm overall happy with how it turned out. I can see myself wearing this as is, or layered with a top underneath the vest, or wearing each piece separately. Ironically, my favorite part is the contrasting back yoke. But that's the funny thing about perfectionists. We can spend hours obsessing over the tiniest details and then panic speed through the rest just to make up for time we wasted on side quests that turned out to be unimportant in the end. Sure, I would have done some things differently in hindsight, but I think there's a moral to this story. Don't let perfection stop you from starting. Mistakes are how you earn wisdom. Some become design choices. some stay a secret. Some force you to fix shirts you needed to fix anyway, and some guide you to your next project. 2 years ago, my biggest flex was sewing scrap felt at my first sewing class. Now, I can make an entire outfit, while a bird micromanages from the sidelines. So if you ever find yourself overthinking your way out of something you've always wanted to learn, whether it's sewing or really anything else in life, I challenge you to take that very first small step, make your first fabric cut. You won't regret it. If you've made it to this point in the video, you are pretty much my hero. And if you think this style of, I guess, motivational sewing video is something I should keep doing, give this video a like and maybe say something nice in the comments too. Thanks for watching. Bye!